I came with Shen Mashan to Malaysia the very first time, and we went to Mariaja, we went to Malacca, we went to Qingyuanting. At the time, it was Jinling Fa Shi, Jinqing Fa Shi, Jin were our hosts, gracious, good monks. And we had with us a young monk. He was a shaman. He was 13 years old, and he was just at that age, 13-year-old boys, starting to think about girls. But he had determined he wanted to be a good monk. But those changes in his feelings and the changes in his body were very strong. So we had already come to KL. We were at Heling in KL first. And this young man's name was Tong. He was a shaman. And he saw the pretty girls in Kuala Lumpur and he forgot his Putishin. That can happen. I know it can happen. A lot of pretty girls in KL. So Shifu, Master Shen Hua, told him, said, Tong, he said, you have to decide. He said, if you're going to hold the precepts, he said, you have to hold them well. You cannot be careless when you're with me, with the delegation. You represent the Buddha when you wear that precept set. He says, you have to hold the precepts really carefully, he says. Now, if you decide that you don't want to be a monk, that's one thing. But as long as you are a novice monk coming out with us, you cannot go making dates with girls. He said, do you understand what I'm okay, sure. Clearly not happy at all, because you remember what it was like when you were 13, right? He wanted to be a monk, but it was an idea. When those changes happened, his Qi no Kan Mu, other ideas. Okay. So we had my companion that I bowed with, Hong Chao. He was sick, and I was helping him by reciting the Great Compassion Mantra to help him get better. And the delegation that we were with had gone on to a lecture. They went to a venue because Master Hua was invited to go speak Dharma somewhere. So here we were in Qingyuanting upstairs, and there was Hong Chao, who was reciting the Great Compassion Mantra for himself. There was myself there to protect him as his protector, reciting to help him get better. And there was Tong, the young boy, the three of us. Shifu said, you stay here, you have to think about your future, he said. So, so we're all sitting there and sitting for an hour. The group goes out, they do their Dharma talk. And I'm sitting there, and this young boy, suddenly, his eyes open really wide, and he looks terrified. He puts his legs in full lotus, and he goes, like that, what's going on with this kid? What's happening? And so it's like, well, he's shaking, he's trembling. And then he starts to nod off, he goes back to sleep. It's okay, he's normal. Instead of reciting, he's nodding off. All right, that's it. So another half hour passes by, and his eyes open up wide, and he starts to shout "Damejo," and out as again. He's terrified. He's reciting, he's like shouting "Damejo," and so we're like, okay. So myself and the other monk were like, Tong, what's going on? Tong says, did you see him? Did we see who? Did you see her? He said, see who? Three of us. He said, there were two of them, and they were wearing really tall black hats, and they came right through the wall. He said, no, Guotong, we didn't see anybody. He said, did you feel the cold? And in fact, we had felt a little bit of cold because Malacca is hot in Malacca, right? It felt chilly all of a sudden, but we didn't see anything. He said, who do you think that was? We don't know, Guotong. Just calm down. You're fine. Over the sun. So at that point, the door opens. In comes the delegation. The talk is over. They returned. And Master Hua says, Guotong, you come tomorrow. We're going to have a meeting with everyone. He says, you go to sleep now. We'll talk tomorrow. He said, sure. This guy came with a big black hat, came right through the wall. It's really scary here. He says, okay, go to sleep. He said, we'll talk tomorrow. Next day, we have a big group meeting. Okay, and Sherpa says, Guotong, tell your story. That's Guotong was with me. Tell your story. So Guotong says, well, I was reciting the Tao Bei Chou last night with Hong Chao and Hong Shi, and we were sitting there, and I fell asleep, and these two guys came through the wall. They were really scary. They had tall black hats, and they came right. It was really cold, and I was scared. Shifu says, you saw the ghost of impermanence, Wu Changwei. He came for you yesterday, last night. That's right, he said. Lucky you can recite the Great Compassion Mantra, and you're lucky that you have Dharma friends around you, so you're still here with us today. He said, you think holding precepts is a joke, Guotong? Didn't I tell you not to make appointments with pretty girls? You went ahead and did it anyway? He said, so Guotong, you have to decide. He said, if you want to be a normal guy, no problem. If you want to be a monk, you can't be a normal guy, just that the way you were before. So he said, just keep reciting the Great Compassion Mantra, Guotong, and you make up your mind. All right? So Guotong went back to America, returned to lay life. He's now, he's a father, he's happily married, he lives in China now, interestingly. But that was the story I'll never forget. Seeing the fear on that 12-year-old boy's face as he sees Wu Changwei come through the wall. Right? So the point is, number one, the Great Compassion Mantra will help us. Number two, if we don't want to take the precepts, that's one thing. But if we take them, be sincere. Be sincere. So, 就说，一九七三